I'll share with you why. But let's just say when you hit 60, you do everything you can. I'll just say that.
I'm looking forward to it, Jed.
Thank you. They have the kind with no sugar too.
Okay.
All right. Who is next?
Isaac Clark.
Hello, Your
All right,
Honor.
Mr. Clark.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, sir. What is your plea to the traffic control device case?
No contender.
Is he eligible for a NOLO?
Yes, he is.
Sir, do you understand by entering into the NOLO plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into this plea freely and voluntarily?
I was under the arrest that it wouldn't have any points going on my license. That's
A NOLO plea will keep points off of your license. That is correct.
okay. Yeah.
You understand that you're entering this plea without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
Sir, the court will accept your NOLO plea. The fine amount is $175. Are you able to take care of that in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
2 weeks. I can take care of that in 2 weeks.
Okay. Mrs. Green will provide you with your plea form for which you will enter a NOLO plea, and then she will give you a 2-week agreement. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You want to go to the next person?
Thank you.
Yes, please stay right there for me. Eason, John Eason.
Mr. Eason, what is your plea to the disorderly conduct charge, sir?
Request for a pretrial conference with the solicitor.
All right, we will let you pre-trial this case with the solicitor. You're gonna need to hold on. They'll get back to you, okay?
Yes, sir. Or
Just
yes.
have a seat. Let's go to the next person.
Kevin Grill.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir? What is your plea to the stop sign violation?
I'd like a pre-trial, please.
All right, we will let you pre-trial your case with the solicitor. Have a seat. He will do it later on in the calendar. That is fine. Go to the next person.
Right,
Okay.
and I may join on Zoom on that one.
You may do Zoom.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be held till the end of court. Or can I join on Zoom?
Miss Howard. I'm sorry. Yes, Miss Howard is next. Janae Jakima Howard.
All right, this is one. Ms. Howard, have you spoken with an attorney regarding this matter?
No,
Are you able to hire one? Or do you want to represent yourself, or would you like for the court to appoint you a lawyer?
court appointed.
All right, Ms. Green, if you will give her a court-appointed application.
I already have filled it out.
All right. If she meets the requirements, we're going to appoint Attorney Stinson to represent her.
Okay,
All right, so this case will be continued from today.
okay.
Thank you. You want to go to the next person?
Yes, finish filling that out and then bring that back to me. Mr. Vu. Mr. Vu.
Mr. Vu, do you need an interpreter or do you understand English, sir?
No. We'll send you information. It'll tell you everything about how you.
Excuse me? I think we're gonna need to get an interpreter for him.
Yeah,
So we will need to reset his court date.
okay.
All right?
Let me see over there. Mr. Mark Jackson. You need something? No. Oh, you're free to go. Oh, mhm.
Does Mr. Vu speak Vietnamese?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Jackson,
Hey, how you doing, Your Honor?
I'm fine, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. You've been charged with a traffic control device. What is your plea to that? Is it not guilty, guilty, or no low contendere?
No low.
Is Mr. Jackson eligible for a no-low plea?
He is.
Mr. Jackson, do you understand that by entering into the no-low plea, that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
Sir, the court will accept your no-low plea. Fine amount is $175. Are you able to satisfy that in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
I could do it in 2 weeks.
All right, Ms. Green will give you your plea form, and then she will give you your 2-week agreement to pay. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
Just give that to the form to her.
Okay, the next person is Danica Parker.
Oh, she's out.
Okay. Put your email address on
Good afternoon, Ms. Parker.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You have 3 different charges, young lady. I'm gonna take you through each one for you to tell me what your plea is, which would be not guilty, guilty, or no low contender. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
What is your plea to the speeding charge?
Guilty,
What is your plea to the failure to yield?
not guilty.
All right, we will set, do you want me to keep this case here in Forest Park, or do you want it bound over to Clayton County for a trial?
Keep it in Forest Park.
All right, she's entering a not guilty plea to one of the charges. We will set her down for a trial date in Forest Park.
You hand me that form, you put your email.
Email,
address?
yeah.
Okay, so you're good to go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay, next person, Your Honor, is. We're going back to the very beginning. We had someone come in late. Miss, is it Melanie? Melanie Baptiste.
Ms. Baptiste,
Hi, how you doing, Your Honor?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
You have 2 different charges. You have a traffic control device charge and a suspended registration. What is your plea? Is it not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
Not guilty for both.
All right, would you like for us to keep the case in Forest Park, or do you want this case bound over to Clayton County?
Keep it in Forest Park.
All right, we will set you down for a new trial date in Forest Park. Understand that the suspended registration charge, if you are convicted, it is a suspendable offense which could suspend your driver's license. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, we will set you down for a trial date here in Forest Park. Thank you.
Okay. Fill that out and make sure I got your email address. We have a young lady that came into the courtroom, Your Honor, but she had on a tank top. I asked her to put a jacket on. I guess she did not have a jacket, so she's sitting in the lobby.
Well, let's find out what her plea is, or we can just reset her court date.
Okay, her name is Bird, Kenya Bird.
All right, why don't we just reset her court date
Okay,
if she's not dressed appropriately?
okay. And that is it, except for the 2 that are here for pretrial.
Okay, they will just need to wait till the end of the calendar, and then they can pre-try these cases with the prosecutor.
Okay, all right, thank you. We're done in here, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Can we go ahead and let everyone in?
Hello.
Oh, how are you?
As you come into the queue, please mute your devices.
Buenas tardes, por favor, asegúrese de que pone su micrófono en silencio.
Hello.
Hello?
Please mute your devices and turn your video on. Please mute your devices and turn your video on. Also type your name and your email address in the chat and send it to FPMC.
Por favor, asegúrese de apagar su micrófono, de prender la cámara, el video y escriba su nombre completo y su número y su correo electrónico en el chat y se lo manda a FPMC.
Type your full name and your email address in the chat and send it to FPMC.
Escriba su nombre completo en el chat y su nombre y el correo electrónico y mándeselo a FPMC.
Is that everyone that has come in, Ms. Payton and Ms. Yates?
Yes, it is.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, I don't know if you want to handle the pre-trials. I start with these and then you come back to me.
Yes, Your Honor, we can do that.
Can we create a breakout situation for the prosecutor and the two gentlemen in the courtroom?
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is just go by the names that I'm seeing on the videos, and then I'll come back and go through the entire calendar, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start with Nora Slayton. Ms. Slayton, please unmute yourself. Ms. Slayton, will you please unmute your device?
Yes.
Yes, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
No, I'm doing it now.
I'll come back to you. Next, I'll go to Ed Hardy. Ms. Slayton, go ahead and mute your device. Mr. Hardy? Will you please unmute your device?
All right.
All right, Mr. Hardy, have you typed your name and your email address in the chat?
That's what I was doing when we.
All right, go ahead and do that, sir, and I'll come back to you. All right, let's go back to Ms. Slayton. Ms. Slayton,
Yes.
what is your plea to the traffic control device, ma'am? Is it not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
It's guilty.
Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And do you think it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes.
Young lady, the fine amount is $175. Are you able to satisfy that in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
No, I can do that in 2 weeks.
They will email you through your email, your plea form, where you will enter a guilty plea. And once you have sent that back, you will receive your 2-week agreement. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Ms. Yates or Ms. Payton, do we have her information?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Slayton, you can disengage from the call, and thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Has Mr. Hardy typed his name into the chat?
I'm still on. I've got it. I have it typed in. I'm just Forest Park Municipal Court, correct?
Yes, that's who you'll send it to.
All right.
Mr. Hardy, you have two charges. One is a disorderly conduct and the other one is a discharging a firearm in the city. What is your plea, sir? Not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
Nolo.
Are you entering a nolo to both charges, sir?
Yes, sir. I was doing it in self-defense.
Well, do you feel like you need to have a trial, because a nolo plea will require you to have to pay fines?
Well, I really don't. I don't have an attorney, and I
So
did.
if you don't, do you feel like you did something wrong, sir?
Oh, no, sir, I do not.
All right, then your plea should be not guilty as opposed to nolo. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, do you want me to keep this case in Forest Park or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
I would prefer Forest Park, sir.
All right, we will give you a reset court date. Ms. Payton, do we have his email address?
No, we do not. All he did was put his name.
Sir, just tell us your email address.
ed.hardy@outlook.com.
Do we have that now, Ms. Payton?
Yes.
All right, we will email you your plea form. You will enter a not guilty plea and send it back. And then you will receive your trial date for Forest Park. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you can disengage from the call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Demetrius Sinkfield,
Yes, sir.
how are you, Mr. Sinkfield?
I'm all right, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. You've been charged with a disorderly conduct charge. What is your plea? Not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
Same thing. I heard you telling him that even if it's self-defense or whatnot, it'll consider not guilty and he'll take the trial.
No. What I'm saying is if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, you should enter a not guilty plea.
Right.
No is where you are accepting responsibility and prepared to pay a fine. If that's not what you want to do, then you should enter a not guilty plea.
All right. Well,
So what is your plea?
I'm gonna plead guilty.
Do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea, sir, that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Can I get you to please take the hat off your head? Sir, are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the guilty plea to the disorderly conduct charge, sir?
Not really, cause it was mostly self-defense. I got
Well,
stabbed.
then I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not going to accept your guilty plea and I'll put you down for not guilty. Do you want me to keep this case here in Forest Park or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
Nah, keep it in Forest Park.
Okay, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Miss Payton, do we have his information?
Yes, we have it.
All right, Mr. Sinkfield, you will receive your new court date through your email. We will see you back here on your trial date, okay?
All right, quick question.
Uh-huh.
Now on my trial, can I bring the videos and everything?
You can
that time?
bring any evidence that you have you want to bring on that day.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You can disengage.
All right.
Next is Daryl Champion.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Champion, what is your plea to the disorderly house charge, sir?
Not guilty.
All right, sir, do you want me to keep this case here in Forest Park or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
Fire Park.
All right, sir, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, I have.
Do we have this information, Ms. Yates or Ms. Payton?
Yes, we do.
All right, then, sir, you can disengage. You will receive your new court date through your email. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Adam Neal.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fine, sir. You have two charges. One is failure to have your license on your person, and the other one is failure to yield. What is your plea to the two charges, sir? Is it not guilty, guilty, or no low contender?
The license one is, I would like to plead guilty to that. That doesn't have any points on the license or anything, correct? It's just a fine?
That's correct.
Okay, and then the other one, I got my court date 7 days out. I haven't had time to speak to a lawyer. I asked to, have my court date moved.
Well, just simply enter a not guilty plea, sir, and that'll give you plenty of time to do that.
Okay, fantastic. Do you know when the court date would be if I
I do
did?
not, but I would say about 2 to 3 weeks out.
Okay, and are you able to tell me if I am eligible for a no-low plea?
I can. What charge are you thinking about entering a no-low plea to?
The failure to yield.
All right. Is he eligible for a no-low plea?
No, he is not.
All right, doesn't look like you are eligible, sir.
Okay, not a problem. I would like to plead not guilty, and then that'll be good.
And do you want me to keep the case in Forest Park, or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
Forest Park is fine.
All right. And have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
I have.
Ms. Payton, do we have his information?
Yes, we do.
All right, sir, you can disengage and you will receive your court date.
Okay, so now have I pled not guilty to the license and the other one,
Well,
or?
anytime you enter a not guilty plea to one, we put them on a trial calendar, but you can enter a guilty plea on your trial date to the license charge.
Okay, and with the failure to yield, if it is a guilty verdict, there is points on the license, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to, remain with the not guilty. Will I get an email with the court date?
You're gonna get your court date, you're gonna get your plea form through your email, send that back immediately, and then you will get your court date.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, sir. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank
The
you.
court date will be mailed to the address that's listed, that's listed on the citation.
The court date will be mailed to the address listed on the citation.
I actually purchased a house about a month ago. Is there any way you can tell me what the address is? I might need to update it.
We'll correspond with you via email.
Why don't
Okay,
you do this?
fantastic.
Why don't you type your current address in the chat right now and put your name there?
I can do that. Send it to Forest Park Municipal again?
That is
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
Next, I'm gonna go to Shannara Scherer.
Yes, sir.
Please turn your video on, young lady.
Can you hear me?
I can. You have a stop sign violation. What is your plea? Not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere?
Not guilty.
All right, sir, young lady, would you like for me to keep this case here in Forest Park, or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
Yes, it can stay in Forest Park.
All right, you will be given a court date here in Forest Park. Have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, I have.
Ms. Payton, can you confirm that we have her information?
We have it.
All right, young lady, you can disengage. You will receive your court date through the mail, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Kenya Bird.
Yes, sir.
You've already entered your court date is being reset. Didn't you enter a not guilty plea?
No, she was the one that
No.
said we were gonna reset because of the tank top.
Okay, is she dressed appropriately now?
No, they gave me the Zoom because I don't live in Forest Park. I live in Fulton County, so I don't have
All
anything
right.
in my car.
All right, young lady, you have 3 different charges. If you will please tell me your plea to each, it would be not guilty, guilty, or nolo contendere. Do you understand that?
Yes. Is it for each or is it one for all
Each
3?
one, nope, it's a different charge for each one, okay?
Okay.
So the first one is a stop sign violation. What is your plea to that?
Nolo.
The other one is a suspended registration. What is your plea to that?
I do guilty on that one.
You may want to do a nolo, because if you do a guilty, it could suspend your license.
Okay, Nolo.
And then the last one is the failure to maintain insurance. And likewise, if you're eligible for a nolo, you'd want to do it on that one because it will suspend your license.
Nolo.
Is she eligible for a nolo plea on all 3 charges?
She is.
Young lady, do you understand that by entering into the nolo plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes.
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes.
Young lady, are you entering into the nolo plea freely and voluntarily?
Sir, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
And do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the nolo plea for all 3 charges?
Yes.
Did this vehicle belong to you at the time of the stop?
Yes.
Young lady, the total fine for all of them is $1,590. Do you understand that?
Yes. I don't know if I will have that amount of money, but yes.
Well, you will be placed on probation to pay it. Do you understand that?
You said I will be placed on.
You can either pay it in 2 weeks, and if you need longer than 2 weeks, then you'll be placed on probation to pay it. Are you able to pay the $1,590 in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
If I can get a longer period of time.
All right. Young lady, you will be placed on probation for 12 months. Because of the no insurance charge, 2 months of your probation is mandatory. Do you understand that?
Yes. When
After 2 months, if you pay the fine, you can get off of probation. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Probation does not show on your record unless you violate the terms and conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you do understand that if you violate your probation, they can bring you back in front of the court on a probation revocation calendar. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions regarding your sentence?
Will any of this be emailed to me after
Yes,
this?
have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes. And
Well,
my
let's
last
confirm that.
question.
Ms. Payton, do we have her name and email address?
Yes.
All right, young lady, you will receive your plea form first through your email, enter a no-law plea for all offenses and send it back. And next you will receive your probation information. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any other questions?
Far as the amount, is there like I have to pay it all in one, or is there like anything I
They're
can do
gonna
as far as
spread it
payment
out
plan or anything,
over
or
a
has to be all in
10-month period. They'll spread it out over a 10-month period. They will add on the probation fees and you can always pay it off early.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. You can disengage.
Thank you.
All right, it looks like Adina Johnson has never turned her video on.
She did, however, I disabled it.
Okay.
I'm sending her a message now.
Okay.
Hello?
Ms. Johnson, they're gonna need for you to put on, you're gonna have to dress a little different for court. Can you go put on a sweater or something?
I'll just close this up.
Please do that. You're charged with a disorderly conduct charge. What is your plea to the charge? Is it not guilty, guilty, or no low contendere?
I was never informed as to what this disorderly conduct charge was for.
Well, I will tell you, I don't know what it is for either. All I have is the citation, but disorderly conduct usually arises for someone interfering with the peace, enjoyment, or you're loud and boisterous in a public place. That's what disorderly conduct routinely means. What it means to your specific situation, I do not know.
I was in a strip club, so I don't know.
I have no idea either. But you've been charged with it. Today is if you feel like you've done nothing wrong, you would say not guilty. If you feel like you did something wrong, you may consider it guilty or a no plea. So you tell me, what is your plea?
I didn't do anything. I actually got beat up, but
Okay. So we're gonna put you down for not guilty. Do you understand that? Do you want me to keep this case in Forest Park or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
whichever is best is fine.
It is your decision. You get to decide if you wanted to come stay in Forest Park where you can have a bench trial, or do you want this case bound over to Clayton County where you're eligible for a jury trial?
A jury trial would be nice.
All right, then we will bind your case over to Clayton County. Have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Did, sir.
All right, can I also have you to type your address?
Oh, okay.
And once did we have her email address, Ms. Payton?
Yes.
Is this
And once you get her address, please type your address in the chat as well and send it to FPMC.
I'm gonna send you a chat, Ms. Johnson.
Okay.
Did we lose connectivity?
No, they're still moving around.
Okay. It just got quiet. Something happened.
We're still on.
Okay.
All right.
All right, did she type her name and all of her information? Do you have all of that?
I have it.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you can disengage.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else in the courtroom or in the queue?
We have a couple of situations in the courtroom. Just let me know how you want to proceed.
If you will tell me what the situations are.
Okay, Mr. James Robinson on page 7. He came,
Uh-huh.
he's here. He came in late, but he's here.
Okay. What
Mr.
is Mr. Robinson's plea to the charge of failure to yield?
He wants to plead no-lo.
All right, is he eligible for a no-law?
Yes, he is.
All right, let's bring him up front. Mr. Robinson, it is my understanding you want to enter a no-law plea to the failure to yield charge?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you understand that by entering into the plea that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
The court will accept your no-law plea to the charge. The fine amount is $175. Can that be paid in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer time to pay?
2 weeks.
All right. Ms. Green will give you your plea form where you will enter a no-law plea, and then she will give you your 2-week agreement. Do you understand that, sir?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Ms. Green, who is next?
Mr. Jackson. Your Honor, he pled no-law initially, but now he wants to change it to not guilty and get a trial.
That is fine.
Circle note on not guilty and initial.
All right, we will let him change his plea to not guilty. I'm noting that on here. Do you want this case to stay in Forest Park, or do you want it bound over to Clayton County?
They can stay in Forest Park, sir.
All right, let's let him enter a not guilty plea, and we will set him down for a trial date in Forest Park.
Okay, we got your information. Thank you.
All right.
The young lady, Miss Bird, who has the tank on, she's trying to plead guilty, but she has the 2 suspendable charges.
She's already into the no-law plea. We taking care of her. She's on probation.
Oh, Miss Bird?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And the last person is Mr. Eason.
He requested a pretrial with the prosecutor.
Yes,
Right.
Judge. He and I have already spoken. And I expressed to him that there's some sensitive issues in reference to this particular charge, and since this is live stream and broadcast, we're going to stay out of those issues. But what I discussed with Mr. Eason was similar to what we do in a lot of, so let me just kind of give you some information on the periphery. So this was a dispute amongst family members that got a little bit out of hand. And there's some things that Mr. Easton does not want to go into regarding family members because, you know, once it's out, it's out. And since this is a public forum, and I didn't request for him to tell me any of the information. He kind of, I gather from what he did tell me, that it's something that he just doesn't want to cast any dispersions on his family. His father is 83 years old, and this occurred at the residence of his parents. His mother has indicated that she did not want to move forward with this, but based on what we normally do when we have family members and the police is called out, my suggestion to the court would be that we put this on a status after bringing the mother back in and her indicating to us that there are no issues current, that she has no problem with him being there or around them, and that there's not going to be any future concerns. that then we move to resolve it like we do in most cases, which is mutual dismissal of the charge.
Okay, so we're gonna do a 90-day compliance with the understanding that there's no future encounters that the prosecution is recommending a dismissal without a fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you understand that, Mr. East?
I'm pretty clear. I just want to make sure that I understand what I need to do next. We had discussed, the solicitor mentioned that my mother may need to communicate with you. She's indicated that she wanted to. What do I need to do next, or what does she need to do next? Or
I will let the prosecutor tell you all that, but as it relates to your case, we're gonna give you a court date 90 days out. And if there's no further activity, the prosecutor is saying that he will dismiss this and not recommend the fine.
thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, so Mr. Easton, once you get the new court date, that will be your opportunity to just have your mom on there with you.
Okay.
All righty, so if you can just leave your information with the court, I believe that is it, Judge. I don't think we have anybody else that we have to resolve.
Okay. Does that take care of everyone?
I believe so, unless Ms. Green got somebody in her pocket. She's been pulling out last minute.
No, we're good in here. Thank you.
How about in the queue?
Grill.
And is there anyone else in the queue?
What about Kevin Grill?
Who's
Kevin,
Kevin Grill?
we've already taken care of him. He pre-tried with the solicitor.
Oh, that's the Lieutenant Colonel?
Yeah, what is it? What is at the bottom of 3 of 10?
Yeah, Judge, so this is actually, Lieutenant Colonel Grill is the JROTC instructor at Forest Park High School. He got a stop sign violation. I reduced it down to a basic rules and cut his fine down to $50 because if I had to deal with those kids too, I'd probably be running stop signs myself.
What was his plea?
He pled guilty, Judge.
Okay. And he was given 2 weeks to pay?
I believe, yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now I just need to go and call the calendar for the FTAs.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go back to the beginning, which is the Larimore Alcevedo Lopez. FTA. It's FTA at 1:47 p.m. Next is Suffian Duhart. Suffian Duhart. FTA. Brenda Green. Brenda Green. FTA. Harrison Jenkins. Harrison Jenkins. FTA. DeRosier Moise. DeRosier Moise. FTA. Adam Neal, he must have had more charges. He did a not guilty, and his case is coming back to Forest Park. Next is Antavius Patterson. Antavius Patterson. FTA. Yasgard Pimentel Alcantar. Yasgard Pimentel Alcantar. FTA. Michael Ragland. Michael Ragland. FTA. Jody Ramirez King. Jody Ramirez King. FTA. Cornelius Reeves. Cornelius Reeves. FTA. Jasmine Smith. Jasmine Smith. FTA. Glenn Story. Glenn Story. FTA. Kelvin Waters. Kelvin Waters. FTA. Kareem Young. Kareem Young, FTA. All right, that will conclude the FTA call of the calendar for today, November 2nd at 1 o'clock. We can turn off the live